This ex-wine salesman started live streaming his entire life and now runs a $750 million media empire. Meanwhile, this former gym bro has built a $250 million portfolio while dropping absolute bangers. But the most important question is, who's on track to becoming a billionaire first? On the surface, both of these guys are content powerhouses. They dominate our feeds, command massive attention, and have built brands so strong they can spin up any new venture at will. But the way they play the game is completely different from how me and you and smaller businesses play the game. And understanding those differences can not only change your brand, but it can change your life. Gary Vee's story starts with his family liquor store. As he often talks about in all of his stories, in the late 90s, he was able to turn the Wine Library TV, one of the earliest YouTube shows, and he was able to help his family rapidly grow their sales. From there, he went on to build VaynerMedia, an advertising agency that works with some of the largest companies, Fortune 500 brands, and then eventually VaynerX, and he now has a holding company for multiple different media assets. And Gary Vee's content strategy is actually extremely simple, but it is relentless and high volume. What he does is he records everything. Everything is content to him, whether it's a speech, whether it's a meeting, Q&As, live streams, he records it. And he was one of the first people to do something that is called content redistribution or repurposing. It's chopping it up into hundreds of different pieces on multiple different platforms and repurposing it. And he's been doing this for years, and honestly, he's probably the godfather of repurposing content. And this is exactly what I've done for my clients, whether they're musicians or much larger business owners. And distributing this across every single platform with specific messaging and editing for each audience definitely helps increase his overall reach and brand awareness. And this aligns exactly with the philosophy that he has of document, don't create. And it's basically designed for maximum cultural relevance. And Gary isn't selling a single product. He's selling himself. He's selling his personal brand. And that attention ultimately flows back into his company's partnerships, investments, and deal flow. Now, Alex Hormozi, on the other hand, took a different route, but still is connected to Gary Vee's strategy. He started with a chain of gyms and started up with his first gym and scaled them profitably. Then he pivoted his business model to something that was much more higher leverage with Gym Launch, a company that helped other gyms grow, and he licensed the process of doing so. And that business, alongside his other businesses, like his supplement companies, such as Prestige Labs and his software company, Allen, eventually were sold for tens of millions of dollars. And now Alex Hormozi runs acquisition.com, a portfolio of companies generating over $250 million a year. And his content model is actually very, very laser focused. What he focuses on is laser-focused authority. He's not trying to be everywhere. He's trying to be unforgettable to a specific type of person, which is typically founders of high-growth companies. And he even went through a process where he states that he was trying to create content for views and attention. And some of his videos that are the most viral about him eating Chipotle, he went on and even through his philosophy of transparency on podcasts said that this is not a good idea to be posting about content that has nothing to do with his ideal avatar. When he started, instead of raw behind the scenes clips, Alex Hormozi shoots and, highly published edits, he created something that was very, very simple and down to earth. He was able to teach frameworks, tangible insights, and share principles and break down highly valuable business problems in depth in a succinct manner that allowed people to trust him to solve their problems as well. And it's designed to qualify and filter his audience so that not only the right prospects end up reaching out, but the prospects who are so committed to his ideas and philosophies that they're willing to pay top dollar. Now, if we compare both business models side by side, Gary Vee has a media company and a holding company, while Alex Hormozi has acquisition.com, which is more of a private equity style business. Gary Vee monetizes through agency retainers, media properties, brands partnerships, speaking, and Alex Hormozi monetizes by utilizing equity in companies, being an advisor, and very, very focused top of funnel events, webinars, and lead magnet focused revenue sources. And then on top of that, looking at Gary Vee, he focuses on mass awareness and cultural relevance, while Alex Hormozi focuses on deep authority within a targeted, educated audience of buyers that he will eventually sell to. Gary Vee is focused on omnipotence and repurposing and public speaking and cultural relevance, while Alex Hormozi is focused on precision and high-value deal flow. See, the psychology of each strategy is that Gary Vee is impossible to miss, and that's why he wins. And if you're online, you will eventually see him. And he plays the numbers game when it comes to cultural moments, relevance, empathy, and his overall energy. But Alex Hormozi wins by being impossible to replace. If you're in his target market, entrepreneurs, like maybe you are if you're watching this, no one else really teaches at his level and gives away so much value. He plays the depth game with clarity, proof, precision, and authority, making him irreplaceable. And if you measure them by net worth, Alex Hormozi's model has the potential to grow faster and most likely will become a billionaire in my view first, because he owns pieces of these high growth companies and can outpace, the traditional media company or agency revenue. But if you measure by cultural capital, Gary Vee's influences has been there for a long time, and his brand is a platform in and of itself, and keeps his deal flow constant. The truth is that they're both billion-dollar thinkers, and they are very efficient with their content systems, just with two completely different toolkits and points of view. Gary Vee is building an empire out in the open, and Alex Hormozi is building an empire with sniper-level precision. The real question isn't entirely who will become the billionaire first, but which strategy is the most effective for you. And if you're a high-level entrepreneur or a conscious entrepreneur that doesn't want to be a course guru or scammer and find ways to make money with an audience or build out content systems, make sure you check the description below to see how we can help you scale.